Hey guys, welcome back. So today's find is this Craftsman lawnmower. It was posted on Facebook Marketplace, and according to the seller, it ran last year, but it won't start this year. So he already went out and bought a new machine and listed this one for parts or repair for free. So, overall, this one looks to be in fairly good shape. I don't see much in the way of rust or rot. We got the big wheels on the back, front wheel drive, and an oversized bagger. So this one I think would be a good one to save. Most likely we are dealing with fuel issues. So let's just double check the basics, and if all looks good, we'll pull that cord and see if we get any signs of life. Yes, plenty of oil. Needs to be changed, but it's fine to test with. Just going to make sure this is disconnected before rotating that blade. Now, I don't know the torque spec on this. I haven't looked it up, but I'm going to make sure it's at least to 35 foot-pounds. Yeah, I see a problem already. This is someone's attempt to fix an issue here with the cables, but this one here doesn't seem to have any tension on it. And when I move the bail, the engine brake, it's not moving. So it is very hard to pull the engine over. And besides that, this also kills spark. This has to be pulled forward to turn that brake off and get spark back. So that alone will definitely prevent this from running. I guess my question is, why isn't this moving? And it's broken. So we definitely need a new cable. So let me scrounge up a zip tie, see if I can cinch this together and try pulling it over again. Maybe it's only a new cable that's needed. All right, let's try that. Yeah, maybe the carb has issues too. I do smell a strong smell of fuel, so I tend to think it is making it to the carb, but let's pull the airbox cover off, give it a little squirt of starting fluid, and see if that makes any difference. Still nothing. Let's pull the plug, see what that's doing. Plug actually looks decent. It's a little wet. I wouldn't say it's flooded out. So let's see if it's sparking. Yeah, I didn't see anything, so I just tightened the zip tie a little bit more. Let's try it again. Yeah, that was it. Zip tie wasn't tight enough. It almost went. We have spark now, so let's try it again. Nice. Beautiful. That's what I wanted to hear. The engine, it sounds good. So we've got a dirty carb and a broken cable at a minimum. So let me place an order for that cable. We'll clean this off a bit, get it inside, and clean up that carb. I'll try to save this gasket if I can. Yeah, I forgot, this one's an auto choke, so I'm going to get this plastic off the top just to give a little better access to get this choke lever out of the way. The fuel is a bit of an unknown on this, so I'm just going to drain it out so that we don't have any wild cards here. It actually doesn't look too bad. There's no water, no debris, and I wouldn't say the fuel is bad. You know, it's not fresh, but it is still good fuel. All right, what do you think? Don't think this one's going to be too bad. Yeah. I see a lot of debris there. Looks like water actually on the bottom mixed with a little bit of gel, but no rust. So this one should clean up pretty easily. It's jelly. So that definitely is an issue. I don't think that could be pulled through the main jet. Now, the main jet itself doesn't really look bad. I'm not sure it's actually clogged. I would say between the gel and the water, that's really all it takes. So this will clean up really easy. You know, I think just a few minutes in the ultrasonic should do it, and we should be back in business. Yeah, it's getting there, but it's going to need some more time. Cleaned up pretty well. So let's get this back together. Start with the needle and float. Maybe. I put the brakes on the reassembly when I realized I didn't have any more filters, and this one I am not gonna reuse. Plus, before putting that airbox on, I want to get it started and make sure that it runs okay. So I put some fuel in the tank. I also resecured this plastic piece. So let's get it started, get it warmed up a bit, see if the drive system works, see how the carburetor does, and get it back inside. Change the oil while it's hot. All right, not too bad. It started first pull, and the drive system seems to work fine. Granted, it was a little slow to engage, but it did get better as I used it, so I think we're going to be okay. So let's get this back inside and get that oil changed. Yeah, we're right there. So that should be fine. New air filter showed up today, as well as the cable. So let's get these installed and finish this up. I also ran this airbox through the ultrasonic. It was pretty nasty. I probably should have removed this before ordering the parts. There could be some surprises under here. Yeah, no surprises, but there is a split here, and I'm guessing that that's maybe the failure, the original failure, why that clamp was there. Let's take a look at the other cable. Yeah, this does not look like that. So I don't know if that's going to be an issue. There is a bolt hole here, but of course it came with no bolt. But if that's the only issue, then I think we'll be okay. Worries me a bit that the part is a little different, so potentially this is the wrong part. Yeah, I think that'll work fine. And in case you're wondering, this extra cable here that goes down to that red piece of plastic that pivots, it doesn't actually go into anything. The only thing that cable does is pivot that piece of plastic, and it has only one purpose. Let me show you. And that's it. It holds that open when you take the bagger off. When you put the bagger back in, you push the bail down, and when you do, it releases it. So, kind of a neat feature. I've never actually picked up a mower before with that. Make sure the spark plug's unplugged when you do this. This blade doesn't look too bad. There's really not much to speak of as far as defects on either side. Anyway, I'm going to sharpen this real quick and I'll double check the balance. The interesting thing is when I was checking the manual to find the torque settings on this blade, it recommends 35 to 40 foot-pounds, but on the same page it states that it's not recommended that you sharpen the blade. So not really sure why that is, but if you do sharpen your blade, be sure to double check the balance after. Yeah, that side's a little bit heavy, so I'm going to take a little bit more off. We'll try this again. For checking the balance on this, I was using this extension here, which worked pretty well, but with this design, you don't want to use a nail to check the balance. You want to use something that fits in between here as tight as possible. So I've actually swapped this out for a 3/8 inch socket, which fits better. And you want to get it on the smooth part. And if you move the blade down one way, when you let go, it should stay if it's balanced. And same thing with the other way. So this blade should be good to go. Though this plug is working fine, I would say it's original to the engine, judging by the amount of rust that's on it. And I've had a lot of plug issues recently, so I think I'll swap this one out just to be safe. And I already double checked this plug gap. Definitely do that when you get a new plug. Sometimes they are off. In this case, we're fine. I'm putting in a Champion RJ19LM. Well, guys, that is pretty much it. I mean, for a free mower, it didn't have a whole lot wrong with it other than the broken cable. And I'm sure that led to the issues we saw in that carburetor. So we got those two things fixed up, gave it a tune-up, and this thing should be good for years to come. Anyway, I hope this video helps someone. Thanks for watching.